Today on Community Cooking, we have guest chef Jeff Kawakami in our kitchen cooking up some tasty side dishes, starting with roasted cauliflower with vegan cashew cheese and crispy baked artichoke hearts. We're cooking with some of the best chefs from right here in our own community, so grab a seat and get comfortable. We have another great meal for you. This is your Community Cooking. Hi, and welcome to Community Cooking. I'm your host, Maria Prekeges, and I am so excited to have back in our kitchen guest chef Jeff Kawakami. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me again. So good to see you.
You're so much fun to have in the kitchen. You're super upbeat, which I love.
Thank you.
And you always bring in easy, great dishes. Today, vegan. I'm not a vegan.
Yeah. Well, you know, a lot of people are vegan nowadays, and sometimes, you know, it's good to cater to your friends. And also, it's good to bring side dishes over, you know, that are kind of friendly but are still tasty. So, you know, yeah, it appeals to everyone.
I think the problem with me is that it's like vegan, how do I get my protein? How do I get it to taste good? But especially here in Southern California where so many people are, it's quite easy to do. And you're going to bring us, talk about the two things you're going to make.
Well, today, with the roasted cauliflower, this is a really easy dish. I love making it all the time. We have some garlic powder, olive oil, crushed red pepper, salt and pepper, simple.
Yeah.
Then we're making a vegan cashew cheese sauce, which is actually really good.
I'm sure it is. I'm like, vegan cashew cheese sauce? What are you talking about? But I'm excited to try it.
Yeah, the first time I made it, I impressed myself. I was like, this is delicious.
Pat on the back.
Yeah, so we have cashews that have been soaked overnight.
Okay.
And then onion powder, garlic powder, nutritional yeast. This is the magic that makes everything delicious.
Tell me about the other two ingredients, and we're coming back to the nutritional yeast.
And then we have a roasted red pepper and then some hot sauce. Your favorite hot sauce. You know, I like a red hot because it just tastes good. And then we're making this kind of like a nacho cheese sort of over cauliflower. Yeah.
Well, and it's so much more healthy than nacho cheese, like cheese and goop and all of that.
Exactly. Yeah, the nutritional yeast now, it's actually, you can find it a lot of places now. It's high in B vitamins. Some of it's fortified with extra B vitamins. And then it gives it that rich kind of nutty flavor that you want from cheese. So it like helps kind of satiate. And also, cashews contain casein, which is what is in cheese. When you eat cheese and it gives your body, it tells your brain, like, this is delicious cheese.
I did not know that.
It's casein. So
makes you feel full, which I like.
Yeah.
Because, you know, we got to watch our figures.
Absolutely. So the cauliflower.
It's so popular nowadays. You can find it every way, shape, and form. But we like going to the farmer's market.
Oh, yeah. And what I did, I kind of cheated today because.
It's okay. And I like how you cut it. That's easy.
Oh, yeah, just cut it in half.
Chopping stuff.
Well, if you notice, it cut really easy because what I did, I just kind of cut around here. I don't know if you can see that.
Yeah.
Just cut around the core. And all those florets just really fall off.
See, I'm always one floret, two florets, so that's much easier. Good way to do it.
So also, if you notice, the cauliflower is kind of soft.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Well, I cheated, and I threw the whole head in the microwave for 5 minutes, checked it, threw it in for another 5 minutes, and that way it's already par-cooked, so we're just going to put it in the broiler. All we're doing is getting some color.
So simple. Now, do you put it with any water to steam it, or just as
I just threw the whole thing in as is. Yeah, because we're doing a little cheating.
I love that with no water because it almost tastes like it's steamed, but it's not it's not wet.
Yeah.
So
actually, if you don't even really need a knife, if you want to continue just like to break these up into little pieces.
I'm good at breaking up because I like everything bite size. I'm a little weird. I don't like cutting if I don't have to.
Absolutely. Well, and it's already kind of soft, so you're not fighting it.
Yeah, and you let it cool down. Thank you, so my hands are not burning.
Absolutely. So we're gonna start making the cashew cheese.
Yeah. Skeptical I am, but it's you, so I'm really not.
Well, first we're gonna start with our roasted red pepper, and now when I soak these cashews overnight, I actually changed the water out and put new water in.
This morning you did?
This morning, yeah. And so that's new fresh water.
Okay, so that's good to know. And then the roasted red pepper, do you do that? Is it in the oven, on a gas stove?
I like to rub it with oil and then put it under the broiler.
Okay.
It's the easiest way. I mean, if you have a gas stove, you can char it on top of the stove.
Yeah.
True story, I was working at a woman's house once, and I was charring peppers on top of her stove. And she was like, that's not how I use my stove. And I was like, no, it's perfectly fine. I do it all the time. She's like, no, that's not how I use my stove. And I was like, oh, okay, well, we won't do that then.
Oh, that's hilarious. It's like, I don't have a gas stove at home, but I wish I did because just for that. But the broiler, you let it cool, take off the skin.
Yeah, and putting a generous amount of salt because those cashews, they don't really have flavor since you soaked them overnight.
Okay.
And then a generous helping of hot sauce.
Oh, yeah. You know how I like my hot sauce.
Yeah, you know, I'm just going to take this lid off. Pour a little more in there. It's nacho cheese.
You know?
Now, we didn't talk about the nutritional yeast. So,
the magic, baby.
The magic.
And I made these kind of bite-sized, sorry.
No, that's great. I love it. If you just want to put the olive oil and then our garlic powder.
Okay.
And I actually don't like using garlic salt because I want to control my salt. So I always just use garlic powder.
I use garlic powder all the time. So just a little olive oil on this?
A little olive oil on there, yeah, just to get it, you know. So the nutritional yeast.
Yeah.
You can put this on popcorn. You can mix it in with salads. It gives just things a good, funky flavor.
Funky flavor.
Well, you know,
I like it.
If you think about it, cheese is kind of funky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love cheese. All right, so then garlic powder?
Garlic powder. And the reason we're using garlic powder is because if we were to put actual whole pieces of, or chunks of garlic, it would burn and then it would get bitter.
Oh.
So that's why I like to use garlic powder.
Some red pepper flakes,
A little
your
heat.
friend.
Yeah. And of course, cauliflower.
Need some salt.
Need some salt.
What kind of salt do you like to use? I was going to say, you're flipping that.
Kosher salt.
Kosher.
Yeah, always. Just make sure it all gets nice and covered.
Look at that.
A little generous.
Beautiful.
If you'll grab our pan right there.
And I always put foil on my pan because it helps with the cleaning.
Oh, yeah. So, I already sprayed it down, and like you said, after we're done, we don't have to wash it, nothing, pan's
you just
good.
take it off, because sometimes, especially baking pans like this, they start to get dirty, and you know, you have leftover stuff, but that's beautiful.
We're just gonna pop that right under the broiler until it gets crispy.
Okay. You gotta watch it with the broiler though. Keep your eye on it. And about how long?
That might take probably maybe 10 minutes.
Okay.
Because it's basically already cooked. We just want to get a little crispy. And you can see this. I slowly raise.
Okay.
Yeah, the power. And cashews are crazy cool. They're actually going to expand and thicken.
Really?
Yeah, and if you add too much water, you can put this in a pan and you can cook it and it will thicken up.
Well, because you did keep the water in with the soaked cashews in there, in the blender.
Absolutely.
Woo!
We're going full tilt.
Start your engines.
And with a good high-power blender like this, it actually gets it hot because it creates friction. So this is actually gonna get hot.
Really?
Yeah. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right.
I'm glad I wasn't, you know, when they turn the music off and you're singing the song super loud.
All right, so
I was watching.
Give a little taste for salt. Oh. Doesn't need any salt.
Okay, I can't believe that's vegan.
It's really good. It's shockingly good. When the hot
it's
sauce, you get a
not
little tingle, you know?
I love it. And I was going to say, it's so much better, but it's like, you know, cheese sauce you put on nachos or something.
Yeah, you could use this as a dip at a party.
Oh, yeah.
And so easy that was. You just throw everything in a blender, you push a button. Like, that's what I love about good, easy, delicious cooking.
I totally make that totally easy and nutritional. You know, it has a lot of nutritional value. And,
yeah.
Oh, my God. That's good.
Thank you. I'm very happy with my cheese sauce.
And a good blender.
And a good blender. Oh, I've had this thing forever.
Well, and it's not just, I mean, you can do blenders and the cheap ones just don't work very well, especially when you're doing like cashews and stuff.
Yeah, you do need a really good blender. But it's an investment, and once you have a good blender, you can't go back.
Yeah.
You know, it's gonna be with you. Like, I've had this thing well over 10 years. It still works amazingly. Yeah. You know, invest in good quality things, and they're gonna last you forever.
All right, well, cauliflower is in the oven. I'm gonna check on it, but we're gonna take a quick break, and when we come back, more goodness.
Delicious crispy artichoke hearts.
I mean, crispy artichoke hearts? Why wouldn't we?
Yeah.
Don't go anywhere. You're watching Community Cooking. We'll be right back.
When I was in high school, I was physically at school, but my mind wasn't at school. I had problems at home, and that's hard when you feel like you're doing it alone. That's when I met an artist, my mom, as I'll call her. She started helping me a little bit, like, Nia, I don't know what you're doing with your life, but your future is more important. She's my strength. Just being a support for those hard days and those hard nights, not giving up on me. Thank you to my mama. I wouldn't have did this if it wasn't for her. Today is for my mama and everybody who had my back. It takes a village to help somebody get their diploma. Some people would think, well, maybe it's really not that big of a deal, but it really is. It changes your whole life.
Welcome back to Community Cooking. I am with guest chef Jeff Kawakami. I just like to say that. So we took the cauliflower out of the oven with the cheese sauce, which I accidentally, you gave me a quick sample of. So yummy. But now we're going to the second side dish. I love side dishes because these will go with anything.
Yeah, and this is a fun thing. This is also like a good snack, instead of, popcorn gets boring. And this also, you're thinking, well, at least I'm eating a vegetable. It's a really good snack.
So tell me the ingredients for the baked artichokes.
Well, of course, artichokes.
Hearts.
Yes, artichoke hearts. And then we have some panko, because that's what makes it super crispy.
Yes.
And then Parmesan cheese. Oh. We have some rosemary and thyme. And I personally like to dry my own. And then we have salt, pepper.
Well, of course you do. That's why he's the private chef and caterer.
Well, and then some eggs. But when you think about it, when you, when you buy those packages of herbs and you have all those left over, right?
This is true.
And then they sit in your fridge and they like get moldy or whatever. You forget about them. They're in the back of the fridge and they're gross.
There's some right there, right now in my fridge, actually.
Yeah, if you take those out, you can put them on a plate and set them out somewhere dry, and they will dry, and then you can save them, and at least like a shelf life, because.
No, and that's my biggest thing with fresh herbs. I love them, but then I'm like, well, then they go bad.
Yeah, you have that big pack of them. They always go bad. So I like to dry mine, and then I save them.
And just anywhere dry, you just set them out for.
I have 2 refrigerators. And so,
of course.
Yeah, so sometimes I have the space and I'll put them on a sheet pan so they can air out, and I just leave them in there. And they dry completely in the refrigerator.
Do they?
Yeah, out of the way, completely fine.
I love that. That's a good tip. All right, so the Parmesan.
Parmesan and breadcrumbs. Just gonna mix those around.
Panko, they're super popular too.
Oh, panko is great. Panko goes good in anything, and because it's so light and crispy, sometimes regular breadcrumbs, they can get like thick, and they can stick together, and it's just, you want this to be crispy and airy.
I like it.
So I'm going to add the herbs directly in.
Rosemary and thyme. Yeah, don't give up your day job, Marie.
And then we're going to add a little salt, of course. There is salt in the cheese, so you don't want to overly salt it.
But everything needs a little salt, a little pepper.
Pinch of pepper. Mix those together. And now, before we did vegan, and so this isn't vegan because it does have cheese and egg.
Okay.
But if you wanted to make this vegan,
how would we?
I like mustard. And I know it sounds weird, but mustard, when you put it on something, especially something like, well, even cauliflower for that instance, it adds a lot of flavor, but you don't recognize it as mustard right away. You'd be really surprised.
You would use mustard instead of?
An egg wash.
Oh, an egg. Now, regular yellow? Dijon?
Dijon. I prefer Dijon. Yeah. I do. Okay. I am prejudiced against regular yellow mustard. I do admit that, because it does not belong in my fridge.
I love it. I love all mustard, though. I have like 5 different types.
Oh, I love me some whole grain mustards. Yeah, I love like different kinds of mustards.
So instead of egg wash, you would use?
Just mustard.
A Dijon mustard.
Yeah, and then I would omit the cheese and add the nutritional yeast, because it gives it that cheesy, funky
magic,
flavor.
nutritional yeast. I love that. And then the artichoke hearts, are these out of a jar, out of a can?
I got these out of a jar because they're already marinated, so they already have a lot of flavor in them. I do like to marinate my own artichoke hearts.
Again, of course you do.
Of course I do. But I mean, if you don't want to go through that extra step, they're already there waiting for you. It's actually like, I got this jar on sale. It was like $7 for the whole thing. I mean, it's not expensive.
No.
And then I like to kind of heavily crust them. So you really you mat it on there. You push it in there.
You push it on, mat it on.
Yeah.
Yum.
And this is really good, like I said, for snacks. You can also dip them in ranch dressing, which is one of my favorite things.
Well, and
Like
we
yours.
always talk about ranch dressing with a little hot sauce.
Ranch dressing with hot sauce is so good.
That's in our hot sauce. So you're really coating them.
I'm really
getting
coating
all...
them. Yeah. And this is something I actually make quite a bit. You know, I do have my own YouTube channel, and I make my own YouTube videos. So.
Well, and you have your own website because you're a private chef and caterer, and you're so busy. I was like, he's coming in today? What? He's too busy.
It actually, well, it worked out well because I have an event that I need to focus on. So switching days was actually a blessing in disguise.
So what's your website? Let's get it out there because you need to be more busy.
I do. I always need work. JeffKawakami.com. All of my social media is Jeff Kawakami. I'm branding myself.
You got it. We're going to put it right across your chest.
Yeah.
So people know.
And some people, you know, my name is kind of hard to remember. So,
K-A-W, Kawa, K.
K-A-W-K-A-M-I.
See, that's not that tough.
On everything. And you know what? You know it's harder to spell? Wolfgang Puck. But everyone knows that.
Or Maria Prekeges.
Yeah.
But hey. So, and do you do everything, small parties, big parties, private chefing for households?
Oh, small parties. Like I do dinner parties for 4 people. I do cooking classes a couple times a month for 25 people.
Oh, fun.
I just catered an event for 350 people. You know.
All types.
All
ranges.
types, yeah.
Do you have, I always ask chefs this, one of your favorite things? I know you talk to your clients and you go over and create a menu.
Yeah.
But do you have something that if you could just do like one meal and really push it on someone because it's your favorite? I know that's a tough question, or maybe
It is.
couple.
Well, okay, I bake my own bread. I actually have bread rising right now. I brought it with me. I have an event later, and I need to make a lot of.
I love it. Talk about multitasking.
Yeah. And I bake my own sourdough, and then I make my own grilled cheese. And I like to grate my own like smoked Gouda and white cheddar, because.
Okay, I'm loving this, but next time we're doing grilled cheese on your baked bread. Yum.
Yeah. And well, I mean, I wish I could show you how to do the baked bread, but it takes time.
Yeah.
And so, but it's one of those things. It's a labor of love. Like I know how long it takes. So, like I said, I multitask. I made the dough, and then I brought it here, and it's rising right now. And then when I leave here, I'm gonna go home and bake it.
And right now, you're secretly emailing, like telepathically, to your next client. I know.
Yeah.
I know. Multitasking is the only way we can do it in any crazy business that you love, and you love to chef. You love to cook.
I do.
You love to bake.
I do. It's just. Even as a little kid, I would even try to make my own bread. I used to make my own. Yeah, I used to make my own candies. I used to candy orange peels, and like I love making pickles.
Oh, now you're talking. I'm a salty girl.
Oh yeah, anything pickled, anything fermented, I'm all about it. I'm all over it. Anything spicy. Like, do you like chimichurri?
Yes.
I make my own chimichurri all the time. I put that stuff on everything.
So for, intimate dinner party to a big party.
Absolutely.
He's available, people.
I am available. Please call me.
He's available.
Look me up.
I love it. Well, and you are fun, and we're not going to be bored at a dinner party that you're putting on.
Absolutely not. I'm very interactive. I want to, I like talking to people.
Yeah.
I like, it's interesting to find out what other people like, what they're interested in. And sometimes people are like, well, I like this cuisine, so it, helps kind of push me to get out of my comfort zone and try to make other things.
And not just make them grilled cheese on your
exactly,
fresh baked bread.
No one complains about the grilled cheese.
That would be something.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe only a few times a year.
Yeah.
With all the cheese, but our family grew up on brown burned butter with spaghetti and Mazithra cheese.
I love brown butter.
So I didn't know what red sauce was, but we've cut that down to about twice a year now. We had it about once a week growing up. We were all not, 800 pounds, I'm not sure.
You can eat anything when you're a kid.
Yeah, you can, because you're outside running around.
Yeah.
But I think, too, your personalized service with everything and just really interacting, besides your great meals, is what makes you such a great chef.
Oh, well, thank you very much.
And you're fun.
This is ready to go in the oven.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we have it at, should be set to 425.
Okay.
And it's going to be about 10, 15 minutes. It really depends on your oven. If you have a convection, that's really going to get it nice and crispy.
And we have to talk about convection ovens, because
Yes.
I just bought one.
Yeah.
And it,
You can't do everything on convection. You can't like bake cookies or cakes, for instance, because it can overdry them. So it really depends on how you're cooking things. So yeah, you got to watch.
Do you have to kind of read up on it? You should do something on your YouTube channel about what's best to bake in convection ovens and what's not, or to cook, because that's where I come. Sometimes I use it, but my oven's not calibrated right.
Yeah. Every oven's different.
Yeah.
You know, every oven's different. You don't know. There's going to be hot spots, cold spots, and new ovens, too, are temperamental.
I just found that out. I'm on my second one.
Oh, no.
And that's going back, too.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I'm always afraid with like convection and things like that. But
Yeah. Well, this is one of those things that's good because you want it to be crispy. So that's what you're looking for is convection.
Okay.
Yeah. And then, but like if we're baking a cake, you don't want it because it's going to set too quick and then your cake's not going to rise. And then,
okay.
Yeah, it's just as sad.
See, good to know. All right, well, while those are cooking away, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, my favorite time of the show, tasting everything. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Community Cooking.
Did you buy a bouquet of asparagus?
Hey Alexa, ask Save the Food how to store asparagus.
To last as long as possible, asparagus is best stored in a vase with water in the fridge, like flowers.
Alexa, how do you tell if asparagus is still good?
If it's not moldy or slimy, it's okay to eat.
Well, flowers would still be nice.
Enable the new skill from Save the Food on your Amazon Alexa. Save food, save money, and help fight food waste.
Welcome back to Community Cooking. All right, Mr. Jeff Kawakami, my favorite part.
I'm excited too. I'm hungry.
I'm hungry. So, just to remind everyone, roasted cauliflower with vegan
Cashew cheese.
I call it vegan nacho cheese.
Oh, thank you
I'm
very
even
much.
serving
Oh,
Look,
thank you.
You know, I'm a Greek girl. That's what we do.
And then I brought a little ranch dressing if you want to dip your artichoke hearts. And of course, we have a little hot sauce just in case.
Okay, I'm starting with the cauliflower.
Yeah.
Oh my word. So it's like mac and cheese, but healthy, and the spice in it. I need a second bite.
This is when I do a mac and cheese, I like to give this as the alternative for the vegans because they're not missing out.
Okay,
They get all the flavor.
I would so make that. All right, now we're going for the baked artichoke
Oh yeah.
with a little. I'm doing ranch dressing.
Just a little dip.
Like you said, the panko makes it crunchy but light. You don't feel like you're, eating some deep fried something from a restaurant.
It's not a heavy breading, but it gives you the crispiness
Oh my
that should be
gosh.
missing from fried food.
All right, you know what I'm doing too? Watch this.
Oh, a little cheese sauce.
I'm doing it right in the cheese sauce too. Oh my gosh, look at that bite. The flavors with everything are just, I don't know how to describe them besides they're delightful. I would definitely make both of these easily. Great side dishes. And again, vegan does not taste vegan.
Yeah, it's delicious.
I think
And
that's a big cheese sauce.
how easy was that?
So easy.
Pop it in the oven, in the blender. You're done.
All right, well, we'll see ya. Oh, I mean, thank you so much for coming in. You're so much fun. And
Thank you for having me.
Your dishes are always awesome. You all really must try this at home. And from the entire crew, Jeff and myself, thank you for watching another fun show. And remember, we really do have some of the best chefs
Thank
right
you.
here in our own community. Thanks again, and we'll see you next time on Community Cooking.
If you'd like a copy of the recipes seen on this show, send us a self-addressed stamped envelope to the Office of Cable and Community Relations. That's 3350 Civic Center Drive, Suite 200, in Torrance, California, 90503. Be sure to note the show number displayed on the screen. And don't forget, you can find all the fresh ingredients used on today's show at the Farmers Market. Visit the one here in Torrance at Wilson Park. That's located at 2200 Crenshaw Boulevard. They're open every Tuesday and Saturday from 8 a.m. until 1 p.m., rain or shine. And if you'd like to be a guest on our show, email us at communitycooking@torranceca.gov and check us out online at youtube.com/TorranceCityCable and like us on Facebook at Community Cooking TV.